Hello students, we are studying chapter of vectors. We have studied introduction to vectors, addition of vectors and subtraction of vectors. Today we are going to start multiplication of vectors. The first point is multiplication by a number. Suppose A is a vector quantity and n is some number. A is vector quantity, obviously it will have some direction. If this vector is multiplied by a number, you will get another vector quantity of same nature, but magnitude will be n times of A. For example, force of 10 Newton in some direction, for example x-axis. Now this force is multiplied 3 times. Then force will become 30 Newton in same direction, that is x-axis. Second, by unit vector. Unit vectors are normally multiplied to introduce direction. Suppose a vector quantity of magnitude n is along x-axis. Then ni cap will represent that vector quantity along x-axis, because it is understood that unit vector I is along x-axis. So by multiplying I cap, magnitude remains same but direction comes. Similarly, you can introduce j cap and k cap. Third one is multiplication by scalar. V is velocity, vector quantity, m is mass, scalar quantity. Mass and velocity are multiplied to get momentum. It is vector quantity, but nature is different. So if a vector quantity is multiplied by scalar, you get another quantity, another vector quantity of different nature but same direction. Similarly, you can understand acceleration, which is a vector multiplied by mass, a scalar, we get force. Direction of force will be same as direction of acceleration, but nature of these two quantities, acceleration and force, are different. Fourth one is multiplication of two vectors. Two vectors can be multiplied in two different ways: scalar product or dot product. Scalar product, when two vectors are multiplied to get some scalar quantity, and vector product, when two vectors are multiplied to get some vector quantity. These two explanations will be done later. It is only for introduction. Now, resolution of vectors. You know that two or more than two vectors can be added to get a resultant. Means two vectors can be added to get a new vector. You think about converse. Think about opposite process. A vector can be divided into two or more than two vectors. This is called resolution of vectors. But division should be such that resultant of all the parts should be same as original vector. So this is called resolution of vectors. I am going to explain resolution of vectors now. So students, let us understand resolution. First, what is significance of resolution? What exactly resolution means? A vector quantity can have influence in different directions simultaneously. Effect of a vector in a particular direction is called component of that vector in that direction. This component we are going to find. First, let us resolve vector A in two mutually perpendicular directions. So this is called resolution in two dimensions. This is magnitude of vector A. You want to find component of vector A along x-axis and along y-axis. Keep in mind it is two-dimensional. Means you are going to find component of vectors in a plane in two mutually perpendicular directions. From head of the vector you draw perpendicular on x-axis. You are getting some length. This length is component of vector A along x-axis. Similarly, you draw perpendicular from head of the vector on y-axis. Again, you are getting some length. This length is component of vector A along y-axis. Normally, it is called horizontal component and it is called vertical component. Magnitude of vector A is A. This length is magnitude. Now you complete the right angle triangle. Diagonal is known. This angle is known. So using knowledge of trigonometry, you can find this length is A cos theta and this length is A sin theta. So horizontal component of vector A is A cos theta and vertical component is A sin theta. A cos theta is AX, A sin theta, AY. Since resultant of components should be equal to original vector, therefore we can write A is equal to AXI, AX plus AY, or if you write in terms of magnitude of components, then you have to introduce I cap and J cap to impart direction. So either you write like this or this. A is equal to AXI plus AYJ. This method is normally followed. It is supposed to be better. Now think about magnitude. This is magnitude of vector A and it is diagonal of this triangle. This length is AX and this length is AY. So magnitude of vector A by Pythagoras theorem under root AX square plus AY square. Now let us understand three-dimensional resolution. This is resolution in space also. Means we are going to take components along x-axis, y-axis, z-axis. You think practically vector A, from head of vector A, you have to draw perpendiculars on x-axis, on y-axis and on z-axis like this. Since it is three-dimensional figure, so it may not be very clear from the figure, but you have to think mentally like this. So from head of vector A, you are going to draw perpendiculars on x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. These perpendiculars will give some length on x-axis, on y-axis and on z-axis. These lengths are components of vector A along x-axis, along y-axis and along z-axis. These components are forming I space. You just consider a room of length AX, breadth AY and height AZ. And A is diagonal of that room. You have already studied in maths that if diagonal is known, length, breadth and height are known, then diagonal is equal to under root L square plus B square plus H square. So using that formula you can write magnitude of vector A is equal to under root AX square plus AY square plus AZ square. I suppose students could understand. Students, I have already told that two vectors can be multiplied in two different forms. First is dot product or scalar product when two vectors are multiplied to get a scalar quantity. A scalar product or dot product is defined by this formula. A dot B. Keep in mind, only this symbol should be used. A dot B is equal to AB cos theta. A and B are magnitudes of vectors A and B, and theta is angle between vectors A and B, like this. So multiplication of these two vectors by dot product will be given by this formula. Now let us understand one example. You know that force is a vector quantity, displacement is a vector quantity, but when force and displacement are multiplied, we get work, which is a scalar quantity. Obviously, to get work, force and displacement must be multiplied by dot method. So W is equal to F dot D. As A dot B is equal to AB cos theta, so F dot D is equal to FD cos theta. You are already familiar of this formula, but this is new for you. Work is dot product of force and displacement. Now let us understand dot product of unit vectors. Suppose I dot I you are going to find. You know that I is along x-axis, second I obviously along x-axis, so angle between two i's will be 0 degree. And they are unit vectors, so their magnitudes are 1. So in place of A 1, in place of B again 1, angle between these two 0 degree, so this value comes out to be 1. Similarly, you can find J dot J and K dot K. Now I dot J. Again think about that formula. Magnitude 1, magnitude 1. I along x-axis, J along y-axis. So angle is 90 degree. And cos 90 is 0. So I dot J is equal to 0. Similarly this. Now let us suppose two vectors are given in form of components. A is equal to this and B is equal to this. And you want to know dot product of these two vectors. So multiplication is done by simple multiplication method. Each term is multiplied with each term of second bracket using dot method. During multiplication process, you may find I dot J, J dot K like this, where you are finding these values. You put 1. Where you are finding these values, you put 0. And final result will be this. So this is dot product of two vectors when they are given in component form. This formula is quite useful. You have to keep in mind.